I'm here with my friend Alie Caldwell, neuroscience researcher and host of Neuro Transmissions, a YouTube channel all about neuroscience.
Hey everybody.
So Alie, what brings you to the PSYCH Show?
I wanted to pick your brain about something. On Neuro Transmissions, we've covered the neuroscience of Tourette syndrome, how the sudden and repetitive movements have their roots in the basal ganglia, dopamine's impact on movement signals, and how the media exaggerates what the disorder is really like. We discussed why medications work, but I wanted to talk about how therapy can help.
What's funny about that is for a long time, people even questioned whether therapy really should even matter for Tourette's. Since talking about a tic can lead you to experience that tic, suppressing a tic can sometimes lead to more tics, and since there are effective medications, many researchers didn't see the point of therapy for Tourette's.
Right, but medications can have major side effects.
True.
I know that weight gain is pretty common, and some people can have a difficult time with thinking and focusing. Parents especially get worried about giving medications to their kids.
That's why psychologists developed CBIT, the Comprehensive Behavioral Intervention for Tics. It's an 8-session treatment, usually done over 10 weeks, that uses behavioral therapy, habit reversal, and emotion regulation to help people become much more aware of their tics, how they work, and what they can do to ride those tics out.
So how does it work?
Remember the Battle of Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers?
Yeah, of course. Humans and elves come together to battle the Uruk-hai. It's pretty epic.
I agree, it's one of my favorite battles. Do you remember that one Uruk-hai who snuck a bomb through the small gap in the fortress?
Yeah, it totally changed the course of the battle.
That's pretty much how tics occur.
Basically, a tic is a neural signal that would normally be blocked, like the invading Uruk-hai. But for people who have Tourette, the neural signal finds an opening out of the basal ganglia, like the vulnerable spot in Helm's Deep, and changes the course of what you do and the sounds you make.
Exactly. And what CBIT can do is help strengthen your defenses against these rogue neural signals. It's as if we've fortified that whole section of the fortress at the very first sign of trouble. It doesn't eliminate your tics, but it does help you to manage them. I can show you how it works if you're interested.
Well, I'm a scientist, so I love experiments. Let's give it a try.
The first thing we have to do is awareness training, which helps you to become super aware of everything that leads you to experience a tic.
Well, I don't have any tics.
That's okay. We can simulate it. I want you to keep your eyes open and avoid the urge to blink.
I haven't done this since elementary school, but okay.
Now tell me what you're experiencing right now.
My eyes feel very wide and they're kind of dry. It's almost sore on the front. I really want to blink.
Where in your face are you feeling it?
In my eyes,
In your
on
eyes.
the surface of my eyes.
Okay.
It's really starting to get hard to not blink now.
Okay, it's feeling like a throbbing urge. What does it feel like?
Starting to water.
Okay.
Oh, I just blinked.
You just
I
blinked.
did.
Okay. And how do
Okay.
you blinked right again? How does
Yeah.
it feel right now?
Good, it feels a lot better and I feel like I want to blink a lot.
Everything you just experienced is similar to a tic. The strong urge to engage in a movement, the relief you experience when you blinked, how you kept blinking right afterwards.
Yeah.
That stuff that led up to it, that's what we call a premonitory urge. Think of them as the signs that an Uruk-hai is about to break through your fortress. The whole first half of this treatment is about getting intimately aware of every detail of a premonitory urge.
Yeah, I've never been so aware of the sensations related to eye blinking. It's really interesting how something that is so natural and automatic for me can suddenly feel really overwhelming when I'm trying not to do it.
That's why just suppressing a tic doesn't work. You need stronger defenses against those neural signals. That's where a competing response comes in.
This is the part where we fortify our defenses.
Exactly. There are 3 rules to developing a competing response. Number 1, when you're doing it, you can't do a tic, or it's much harder to tic. Number 2, it's less noticeable than a tic. And number 3, you can do it for a minute or until that urge goes away.
So what would be a competing response for eye blinking?
Slow, controlled opening and closing of the eyes.
So if I had an eye blinking tic, I'd learn about the warning signs, like how my eyes felt kind of dry and itchy. And then at the first sign of trouble, I'd start with controlled blinking.
And then you'd hold that for a minute or until the urge goes away, whatever takes longer.
So what are some of the other common competing responses?
A lot of vocal tics respond well to deep breathing. For neck rolling tics, I have people tense their neck muscles and hold their chin slightly down. For facial grimacing tics, gently pursing your lips together can help. Nose scrunching tics are a little bit more complicated, but pulling your nose down, keeping your lips shut, and deep breathing can help. If a tic involves stretching your arm out, you can pull your arm in against your chest.
Sounds like the competing responses typically use the opposite muscles to the ones that are involved in the tic.
And if the tic involves pushing out, the competing response is all about pulling in.
What's cool about this treatment is it sounds to me like you're building habits, taking advantage of neuronal plasticity, the brain's ability to form and strengthen new neuronal connections, to strengthen existing neural pathways that really fortify against rogue signals in the basal ganglia.
That's why I love treating tics. My patients are literally rewiring their brains. And it gives me a chance to talk about Lord of the Rings. Once patients master this part of the treatment, we'll also teach them new skills to manage their emotions that can lead to tics, change the environment to make it less likely to produce tics, and also teach parents to ignore tics and actually encourage competing responses.
How effective is CBIT?
Well, it's about effective for half the people that undergo the treatment, which is about as effective as medications are. It doesn't work as well for people who might have two different diagnoses. So if you have ADHD and Tourette's, it might be better to have your other diagnosis treated first before trying CBIT.
If you'd like to learn more about this treatment, we've got a lot of resources in the description below.
Have you experienced a tic?
An itch you couldn't stop scratching?
Or maybe skin picking, hair pulling, or nail biting?
How'd you cope with them? Let us know in the comments below.
Special thanks to Alie Caldwell for joining me on this channel. Be sure to subscribe to her channel, Neuro Transmissions, because I know you're gonna love her videos as much as I do. Alie will teach you about how the brain works, take you behind the scenes of her laboratory research, and even show you the science behind Jedi mind tricks. You will give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media.
I don't think it works like that. To see another video that Alie and I made together, click here to learn about why we're so afraid of clowns.